I've been meaning to make this video for a while now, and I know I already just made a video. Well, videos, to put it lightly. But you know what? Screw it. I'm gonna get this done. Let's talk about 11 Paw Patrol members. I know there's probably a few more missing, but I hate to tell you this, there's only 11 characters I think qualify for this list. I do have one honorable mention, but I'll get to that before number 1, and I'm not going to make this a super fancy video. So no videos during the transitions like my Death Battle seasons, because I plan to do this kind of quickly. But at the same time, I do kind of want to take my time with this list. So sorry if a character segment is kind of rushed, I'm not intending that. It's either I don't really have a ton to say, or something like that. Alright, so if you made it to this check mark of the video, then you want to get to the ranking. So I'm just going to list off the number, and like I mentioned, we only have 11 characters to talk about for this list. I know I'm probably missing a few characters, but honestly, I feel like this is more than enough for me to actually tackle. You know what? I'm going to leave the comments open, and if y'all actually suggest a character that I didn't cover, then yeah, I'll probably reply to it or something like that. Just ask me, hey, what are your thoughts on this character, like Boomer or the Ruff Ruff Pack or something like that. Then, yeah, like I mentioned, just comment and I'll reply to it. Oh yeah, and I haven't actually mentioned this. I'm not ranking any of the human characters, so sorry, writer, but you're not going to be on this list. If for some reason he was on this list, I would probably put him in 4th place. Oh yeah, one more thing to clarify, there aren't any actual bad characters on this list, so we're just going to get a decent to best kind of scenario. So with all that said and out of the way, let's get started. Starting off at number 11 is Liberty. Liberty is a fine enough character, and I know a few of my friends love her, but I honestly don't get why. I mean, I liked her debut in the first Paw Patrol movie, which, by the way, I have seen 3 times, so it was actually funny and cool to see her there. And her appearances on the show are fine, but compared to the other 2 female pups we'll get to later... Okay, well, 3, because one of them is actually the next entry on the list. I find Liberty just decent. She's not bad at all, but she's kind of overrated-ish, sort of. Actually, you know what? She is an overrated character that isn't the main 6. By the way, she's a Dachshund. If you want me to love a better Dachshund, or should I say a certain sausage dog, then just give me stickers from Bluey any day of the week. Number 10 is Roxy. If I can describe Roxy in one word, it would be forgettable. She's not a bad character by any means, but I prefer her slightly over Liberty. Cause she looks cooler and, I don't know, she's a bit more interesting. That's really how much I don't know that much about Roxy. Oh yeah, she does have a pretty sick monster truck. Okay, we're already coming up on one of the main 6 members. Number 9 is Rocky. And believe it or not, we're already into the characters that I love. Rocky's a great character, but compared to the other members who I at least prefer just a tiny bit better, except, I guess, spoiler alerts, the top 3. I mean, I'm not telling you what's in them, but I'm just saying 3 of them are in the top 3. Rocky's just one I don't really think about almost all the time. I do love how he's a recycling pup, and it definitely is great to actually promote recycling for the environment, and, you know, his quote, "Don't lose it, reuse it." And I guess he's kind of special to me, sort of. I don't know, I'm kind of already out of things to say. Number 8 is Tracker. Tracker used to have a bit higher up on this list, but nowadays, no, not really. He's still a great character though. I like how he's a Chihuahua, I love his design and his outfit. It's cool for him to have power cables and good hearing, and that's pretty much it. His Jungle Cruiser actually looks really cool though. Number 7 is Rex. Rex is also somewhat of a special character to me. It is neat to actually see a handicap pup. I wasn't expecting that at all when I got into this series, but here we are. Rex's design and outfit looks pretty awesome here. His vehicle is pretty sick too. I'm not going to mention the vehicles that these pups have for every single segment. I mean, unless I don't have a ton to say, then sure. But it's just something worth bringing up. It is cool to see him as a dino pup, and maybe we'll actually get to see him in the 3rd upcoming movie. By the way, Rex, I give you full encouragement to go beat up Gus from Berserk. Trust me, that would be a good Death Battle idea in my opinion. Next entry. Just barely missing out on the top 5 is Zuma. Zuma used to be my 3rd favorite pup, but now, I still love him, but just not really enough to place him in the top 5. Me and him, though, have one thing in common. We both love water. He's already relatable right off the bat, and his design is pretty badass, too. But over time, he still was a character I loved, but not exactly as enough compared to the top 5. By the way, yeah, I will agree that Zuma does deserve at least a bit more screen time, since, you know, the other 5 members get more screen time than him. One more thing I'll mention, his hovercraft kicks ass. That's about it. Anyway, on to the top 5. In 5th place is Rubble on the Double. No, I'm just kidding, it's Rubble. For the longest time since I got into the show way earlier this year, Up until I would say 2 or 3 months ago, I'm not really a diehard fan of him compared to the other 3 members we haven't even mentioned yet. But what if I told you these 2 reasons that actually boosted his ranking? 1, I finally got into Rubble and Crew, even though it's a bit much for him to get a spin-off. I would have actually preferred if Skye got a spin-off instead, but you know what? I'm fine with it. She did make an appearance, though. In fact, the episode where they actually built a mountain lodge with Skye in it was actually the first episode I saw for Rubble and Crew because it was free to watch on YouTube. And secondly, I have thought about him a bit more throughout the past few months. So you know what, with both of these reasons, I think him being in the top 5 is just good enough for me. And that's pretty much about it. I do love his catchphrase though, if I have absolutely nothing else to talk about him. In 4th place is the Ice Husky Everest. I did mention this on Instagram when I actually fully got into the series, March of this year. Everest was one of the few reasons why I even got into Paw Patrol in the first place. And I'll just say this, what's not to like about Everest? She's cute, it's cool for her to work well in the snow. I love her outfit and vehicle. And by the way, yeah, I do ship Evershaw, if y'all are wondering. It's kind of unfortunate to me, though, that Bluey doesn't really have a husky-type character. I mean, I know there's one, but it's nowhere near as memorable as Everest, in my opinion. So, okay, that's something you do have over Bluey. I can't believe I'm admitting that. Bluey forever, though. And honestly, that's kind of about it for what I have to say about Everest. Now we're on to the top 3. And 3rd place is the Fire Pup, Marshall. Kind of like Rubble, around the time I got into the show, I was not a diehard fan of him at all. In fact, I do still prefer Chloe and her dad Frank from Bluey, in my opinion. But over time, until I would say maybe until like July or August or something of this year, I've fully gotten into Marshall now. He's funny, it's cool that he's a firefighter pup, and yeah, he can be a bit clumsy, but that's just kind of what makes him a bit more lovable than some of the other characters on this list. That haven't actually beaten the top 3, mind you. In fact, every time I saw Marshall clumsily got into the elevator or the Paw Patroller or something like that, it's actually pretty funny. Well, in my opinion, but I'm sure at least a fair amount of you actually share the same opinion. And yeah, Marshall's a fan favorite, but honestly, the Macy's balloon is just a little bit much for me, but I do still like it. And yeah, that's kind of all I have to say about Marshall. Now, the top 2 for me were no contest on actually getting one over the other. In 2nd place, right before 1st place, is Chase. Chase is on the case, and he's in 2nd place. Why did I just do that? It's no surprise why I love Chase quite a lot. Even though I do still love Chase, it's just not enough for him to be in 1st place for me. And oh my god, I can't stop saying things that rhyme with Chase. We're gonna stop that now. Anyway, what can I say about Chase that all of you clearly can't tell already? He's the main protagonist. Well, okay, sure, him and the other 5 members are the protagonists, but still, if we're not counting them, he's the main character of the show that isn't a human. He's a police dog, his catchphrase is iconic as hell, his design and outfit are cool, including Spy Chase, and so on. He a good boy. I don't know what else to say. And yeah, number 1 is super obvious in my opinion. But this character has been my favorite ever since I fully got into the series for how lovable she is, how funny she is, how brave she is. How, in my opinion, she fits so well with air and wind. Her jet and helicopter look badass, so without further ado, yes, my favorite Paw Patrol character of all time that isn't a human is Skye. Including the mentions why I love her so much, what can I say about Skye that you all also don't really know about compared to Chase or Marshall or Rubble? I mean, she's the most memorable female character in the show that isn't Everest or Liberty. Oh yeah, I forgot to say this. My only honorable mention is Coral. I like her, and if anyone was wondering, I probably would have put her in 10th place. Anyway, Skye is the character I think of the most when I'm not thinking of Marshall or Chase. There's just something special about her that I can't exactly put into words right now, at least. It's more than her just being adorable. It's just like her being relatable, I guess? Yeah, you know what? Let's do that. But also, I actually worry for her the most. So if anyone doesn't like me spoiling these 2 clips from the first 2 Paw Patrol movies, then, mute the audio or skip 30 seconds. When I saw her going near the weather machine of the first film, I was worried and I just wanted to make sure she would be okay. And her launching her vehicle into the weather machine while getting out, like, that's just badass right there. What's even more impressive of what Skye can do is her breaking apart that giant meteor in the Mighty Pups movie. I haven't actually seen the full movie, but rather just the main clip online. And yeah, I was worried when she actually punched the meteor that actually broke into multiple pieces. Thankfully, she's okay. And that right there proves that size doesn't matter. And the list of what she's done goes on and on. So, I think I'll end the segment here. Skye is my favorite Paw Patrol character. And that was the list. I'm sorry if I didn't exactly have a ton to say about most of these entries. But like I said, I've been meaning to work on this video for a while now. If I do make another Paw Patrol video, I'm not exactly sure what it'll be, but just keep an eye out. Again, I know I'm missing a few characters that could have been on this list, but honestly, I'm perfectly fine with the 11 that I have for this list. I'm not sure if I'll update this video or anything in the future. I mean, maybe I will, but only if I really feel like it. Like, if I include another 5 characters, then sure, I might update it. We'll see what happens, though. But with all that said and done, I'll see y'all later with what we do next time, and that'll be all for now.